The cons of trading Ayuk is he's supposed to be the future weapon for your young quarterback that you're probably going to deem as the franchise guy and pay a lot of money to. And when you look around the landscape of the San Francisco 49ers, I think it's a good guess to say that in 2 seasons that you're probably not going to have either these guys on the roster at all. And if you do, they're certainly way past their primes. Guys like CMC, Debo, probably Kittle, and Trent Williams. So why would you get rid of the one stable thing that you can say, barring injury, in 3 seasons, this guy will help Brock Purdy for many years to come? And also, when you look at paying guys, see, the 49ers made an interesting decision in paying Debo off of the best year of his career, a year that pretty much everybody knew could not be duplicated. The mistake is that when you pay that, you're not paying for what a player's done. You're trying to project what they're going to be. And I can tell you, Ayuk, who's had a couple of good years, I think the best is yet to come for Ayuk. So when you're paying Brandon Aiyuk big money, the expectation is the best is yet to come, not the best has already happened, and thank you, here's a lot of money. I think Brandon Aiyuk is only improving, and as these weapons get stripped away, he gets targeted more, he produces at a higher level, he becomes very worth the money. So for those reasons, pro keeping Brandon Aiyuk.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good. He's still improving. But it's like him and Debo, each of them took until year 3 to really to come into their own. Before, I mean, Debo was good. I mean, both Debo and Ayuk showed flashes their first 2 years, but it took them 3 seasons to be dominant, dependable wide receivers for the 49ers because it seems like there's so much that goes into learning the offense. It's just a ton for all the positions, especially wide receiver, because you have to learn all of them. Anyway, so you trade him. You bring in another guy. He might be as talented as Ayuk, more talented than Ayuk, but how long is it going to take him to learn the offense and to be someone that Kyle Shanahan trusts? Or Purdy? Could be years. It could be never. So that's another reason to just pay the money.
Well, and you look at somebody like Buckner, who they traded and then drafted Kinlaw immediately, and we talk about how those two are always going to be linked together. Well, you knew Buckner was already very good and was going to continue to be good, barring injury. So you really put yourself in a tough spot there. Brandon Ayuk's exactly the same. If you trade him, especially to a team that has a decent quarterback, you're guaranteed he's going to ball somewhere else. So that puts a lot of pressure on you to draft somebody that's going to be a very, very good player for the next at least 5 years. So that's a pretty tough decision to make.
Yeah, it's almost like you can't replace him with the rookie wide receiver. The team is too good. They're too established. That's why it was interesting that floated rumor with the Jaguars that they wanted pick 17 and a receiver, which kind of makes it seem like they wouldn't be necessarily drafting Brandon Aiyuk's replacement. They would be acquiring a veteran who could step in right away, like Emmanuel Sanders did. I'm not saying Zay Jones is that guy, but that was the rumor. Makes somewhat sense. So, like, if they were going to trade Aiyuk, maybe you do it for another position and replace them with a couple of guys. Yeah, it's not easy to do. And again, it's like trying to replace DeForest Buckner, a guy who does everything right. Everything. You sure you can find another one? It's not easy.
Well, and here you are 4 years later, and all the players that you presumably were getting because you were getting rid of DeForest Buckner, the whole sales pitch was, well, we can keep Armstead, we can get a first-round pick, and we can keep Jimmy Ward. Well, the first-round pick is now gone. Kinlaw's on the Jets. Armstead's on the Jags. Ward left a year ago and went to the Texans. So, but Buckner just made another Pro Bowl and is on the Colts still. He outlasted all of them.
Yeah, it's true. Jewish guy just says Dobbs. Straight up. I feel that too. Jay Garza says, let BA play out his 5th-year option, cut trade Debo Samuel next year, then give BA his payday next year. Is that an option? Good question.
It is an option. Yeah, it is an option. You risk him holding out, but ultimately, BA doesn't have any control here. He's going to have to play. So you're not I don't think you're at a risk of him sitting out during the season, but as hard of a worker as he may be, and we saw this with Bosa, Bosa said sitting out really screwed up kind of his whole year. And if you're trying to win now, I don't know that you want to take that risk with BA.